TikTok can make any foodie destination look like the greatest place you'll ever eat. The lighting is perfect, the drinks sparkle, the pastries crack open in slow motion, and every restaurant looks like it belongs in a luxury travel ad. But once you actually get there, sometimes it's long lines, tiny portions, and prices so high, the only thing leaving full is the restaurant owner. And if you enjoy honest travel and foodie reality checks like this, don't forget to subscribe for more. To be fair, every place on this list has good food somewhere. The problem is the social media version. The restaurants and food streets that blow up online because they look amazing. Not necessarily because they're the best value or the best meal. Recent travel coverage and traveler discussions keep pointing to the same issues: over-tourism, inflated prices, and food experiences that can feel more curated for content than for taste. First up, Paris. Paris absolutely has incredible food. But TikTok Paris food? That's where things get dangerous. Suddenly, every croissant is life-changing. Every cafe is must-visit, and every brunch spot looks like a movie set. But Paris also regularly shows up in overrated travel discussions because of crowds, tourist pricing, and the gap between the fantasy people buy online and the actual experience they get. Recent travel coverage has even singled out Paris as one of the most overpriced and overhyped destinations, compared with less tourist-saturated alternatives. Next is Dubai. If there were an Olympic event for food that looks expensive online, Dubai might take gold. Giant desserts, luxury brunches, dramatic interiors, rooftop dining, it's basically built for social media. But it also gets called overrated in recent travel conversations because so much of the experience can feel engineered around spectacle, branding, and spending. In recent travel coverage, Dubai was specifically named as one of the destinations travelers think looks glamorous online, but doesn't always deliver the most meaningful or worthwhile experience for the money. That doesn't mean you can't eat well in Dubai. It means if your list is full of places that went viral because they look outrageous, there's a good chance you're paying more for the performance than the flavor. Third is Santorini. Santorini is one of the prettiest places on Earth, and that's exactly the problem. Once a destination becomes this visually dominant on social media, everything starts charging for the view. Restaurants with basic food can demand premium prices because the real product isn't dinner, it's the sunset photo. Recent travel reporting has singled out Santorini as one of the world's most overrated and overpriced destinations, especially when compared to quieter Greek alternatives that offer better value and less crowding. If you go for scenery, sure. But if you go expecting every meal to justify the cost, that's where the TikTok fantasy can fall apart. Number 4. Bali. Online, Bali is sold as this dreamy foodie paradise full of beautiful cafes, healthy bowls, infinity pools, and tropical brunch spots. And visually, it absolutely delivers. But recent traveler discussions have gotten much more critical, with some saying Bali has become overdeveloped, crowded, and less charming than the online version suggests. In those conversations, food is often part of the disappointment too. Beautiful presentation, influencer-friendly design, but not always the value or quality people expected. Bali still has great places to eat, but the most viral spots can feel like content factories where you're paying for the setting, not necessarily the meal. Fifth is London. London has one of the most diverse food scenes in the world. But TikTok London has a habit of pushing the same expensive markets, luxury teas, photogenic brunches, and trendy restaurant openings until people start confusing visibility with value. Traveler discussions regularly bring up London as a city that can feel overpriced fast, especially if you build your itinerary around famous and heavily marketed experiences instead of where locals actually eat. London can be fantastic for food. But if your entire list came from viral videos, Don't be surprised if you end up spending a lot to feel underwhelmed in a very stylish way. And finally, Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is stunning on camera. Probably one of the easiest places in Europe to make look magical in a 15-second clip. But in recent traveler discussions, it gets mentioned again and again as beautiful but overcrowded, with food that can be expensive and mediocre in the most tourist-heavy areas. Some travelers have even compared it to a medieval theme park. Visually amazing, but not always a great value once you sit down to eat in the middle of the crowds. It's one of those places where the scenery can absolutely live up to the hype, but the viral restaurant experience often doesn't. So what's the pattern here? It's not that these destinations are bad. It's that social media rewards places that are photogenic, dramatic, exclusive, and easy to film. That creates a very specific type of foodie travel, one where the best-looking meal wins, even if it's overpriced, crowded, or just plain average. Recent travel reporting on overrated destinations keeps circling the same issues: crowding, premium pricing, and experiences that are more about being seen there than actually enjoying the food. The smartest foodie move is usually the least glamorous one. Skip the place with the impossible line and the influencer setup, and find a spot where people are actually eating instead of performing. Because sometimes the most overrated meal of your trip is the one that looked the best on TikTok. Which international foodie destination do you think is the most overrated right now? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more travel secrets, tips, and hacks to make your next vacation better.